returning viewer, welcome back. Today I am going to show you what I'm calling my brain quilt. I got a partial fat quarter, it was a mini fat quarter of Moda fabric from a subscriber. And as soon as I got that fabric, I was like, I know what pattern I want to do, and I have to make this right now. My brain would not shut up until I sat down to make this. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how I made it and explain to you what prompted it. I have no idea where the pattern came from. I may have seen it somewhere. I may have made it up out of my head. But the easy part is you take your fat quarter. It's not a fat quarter. You take your layer cake. You cut the 10-inch square in half, and then the other direction, so across the 5-inch pieces, you're going to make it so they're 5 inches wide by 9.5 inches long. So you'll cut a half inch off of one side, then cut it in half. How's that? So, and then I put them together. I put some sashing that I had in here, and then I just started making rows and blocks. So without too much further ado, let's get into the sewing part of this so you can see what I'm talking about, because I'm a visual person. I want to see what you're talking about, not listen to you talk about it. So let's go. So good morning again. We are now in our little sewing area, and I am lining up 2 to 4 pieces at a time. First thing I'm doing is cutting off a half inch on one side. That's because I need 9.5 inches tall. And then I'm going to turn it, and on the 10-inch measurement, I'm going to cut it in half. So all of our parts for our block need to be 9.5 inches tall by 5 inches wide. And I'm putting them into 2 separate piles. As you can tell, I've been cutting for a while. Alright, and now that I have all of this cut, I have mixed up all of my fabric. What I did actually was take a couple on one stack and move them to the bottom and leave the other stack alone, so I knew that everything would be mixed up. And we're just going to sew them together along the 9.5 inch side. And I'm just going to chain piece. It's the fastest and easiest way to do this. I do stop, try to make sure everything's lined up so that my 1/4 inch seam stays where I want it. And I'm working on resisting the urge to rearrange so that I have dark light, dark light. I wanted this quilt to be random, so I'm making myself keep it random. I am making sure that I only have 2 pieces of fabric sewn together here. I won't know until I get to the bottom of the stack whether I was successful at that or not. But I do try to check as I go. think I have a total of 36 blocks. I will not make you watch all of them. I'm going to speed this up in just a minute. But I did want anybody who's a new sewer to see that you can just keep going. You don't have to stop on these. So now that I have them all sewn, I'm going to press to the dark side and just take my iron and iron all of those down. This is a fabric that I chose for my sashing, giving it a quick iron, and then I'm going to cut 2.5 inch by 9.5 inch strips out of it, and they will go in between my blocks that I've sewn. Over here by the sewing machine, I've got the strips laid out, and I'm going to take each of these regular blocks that I've created and add a sashing strip on the right hand side of each block. And there's my whole stack. Lock that rotary cap. finished top, and I'm flipping it around so you can see more of it because my camera isn't picking up the whole thing. I did put in a couple of pieces of fabric that I had from somewhere else because to make this size, you need 30 10-inch squares. And you can use any fabric you want. This little sashing that I put in here is 9.5 inches long by 2.5 inches wide. And I made the two-piece block and then added sashing on one side of every one. And then that's my horizontal sashing, or my vertical sashing. The horizontal sashing is a tan sheet, looks white on camera, that I had here. And I do plan still to add uh, that same sheet. I'm going to use it to make borders all the way down the sides. And then I'm going to quilt this up, probably with something simple and fast, because this quilt got in the way of me doing other things that are on my to-do list, but it just insisted that it had to be done. That's why I'm calling it the brain quilt, because my brain just said, do it, do it, do it, do it. So it's done. If you like this video, please leave me a comment below. Give me a like, maybe share it with your friends. And if you really like this video or the things that I show, please feel free to give me a subscribe. I'm working on getting to 5,000. I'd love to get there by the end of the year. I'm pretty close. I'm within a couple hundred. So I would love to make that goal. And thank you for watching. You all have a great day. Bye bye for now.